Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I hope you guys have your crypto morning coffee locked and loaded, ready to go. Taking a sip here because we have some very, very important news. We are going to talk about two topics. First of all, with the current crackdown of the SEC. Mainly affecting altcoins, brutally affecting altcoins, there is some hope that this whole thing that Gary Gensler built is actually not built on solid ground, because there are some rules and legislations already ongoing and in place that might prevent the full crackdown from happening. And we are also going to talk about if there's really this big turnaround coming with the FOMC meeting. Plus, we are going to look a little bit at charts, a little bit at Ecomi, at Veve, and the NFT marketplace. But all of that right after the intro. So yeah, hey everyone, it's the Patient Toddler coming at you with another video, with another live stream, and I quickly want to take the second here for housekeeping. Please make sure you do your own research, not a financial advisor. And also thank my rare hodlers, my Patreons, my channel members for supporting me here on this journey, on all of these live streams. Thank you so much for supporting me. If you want your name here, you have to become a channel member. And then you will be on my intro screen here like the others. And as you can see here, I've still not fixed the error with the mint number. But that is due to extensive traveling on the weekend, basically between the last live stream and the first live stream. And in the chat here, we can also see that SmartyPants said, "Damn, I missed your last live stream because you started while I was asleep around 12:45 a.m. You broke my streak." Let's not count that one, Smarty Pants, because honestly it was I decided in the morning to do that morning stream because of the altcoin crash. So even I was surprised, and I literally decided to skip my breakfast. I was I think 2 hours from taking a train on a 4-5 hour journey, and I just decided I had to make that morning stream. But unfortunately, if that broke your streak, that is bad. Then we have Andre Omi Gecko. Good morning, PH. Besides waiting for the other, have you heard anything from the digital frame company Hodl Frames about prices? No, I have not yet heard from them. I think they didn't answer me on Twitter. Caro is also here. Servus and moin with a Hamburg coffee pot. I think we should be going with the moin, right? But anyways, Smarty Pants says, all right. I'll pretend that stream never happened. Then yeah, consider it done. It was also on Saturday, where usually no weekend stream is. No streams on the weekend usually. But anyways, let's look at this. So quickly, from the tweet, second topic, why the new bull market is headed for more Fed stress after a rate hike pause. So basically, the stock and bond market are betting that the Federal Reserve will pause its interest rate hike, the most aggressive monetary policy since the 1980s. So basically, most of us that are in this crypto space, or we know that more younger people than older people are in the crypto space, but on my channel there are also a lot of people that are older. But some of us have not seen the 1980s. So for some people, this is completely new with the rate hikes. At week's Federal Open Market Committee meeting, former Fed Vice Chair Roger Ferguson told CNBC he thinks the Fed decision is a much closer call than the market is expecting, and what comes after that will be more central bank rate hikes to tame inflation. So so what is basically said here is that despite a chance of 1 to 4 that there is a continuing rate hike in a couple of days, FOMC meeting is literally coming out or be coming up, I think, on Wednesday. Not quite sure about that though. And everyone is expecting the Fed to pause the rate hikes there. But if that is turning out to be another 25 basis points rate hike, then the market will be tanking again. Traders are signaling that a pause in interest rate hikes is the most likely outcome of this week's Federal Open Market Committee meeting of the Federal Reserve. And that comes at a time when some strategists are saying a new bull market is underway. So we have seen that as well. I have made a video about this as the Fidelity Global Director or Director of Global Markets or whatever from Fidelity. He was on CNBC earlier saying that it's too soon to be bullish and too late to be bearish. So basically bear market bottom for the broader global market in his opinion. So that would also fit here. But here Bank of America equity strategist also says the bear market is officially over. Noting that the S&P 500 has risen 20% above its October 22 low. Some question the new bull market call though, based on how narrow market leadership has been. A handful of the largest tech stocks responsible for much of the rebound in market indexes. So basically also what has been responsible for the downturn there, not to forget that. Risk on assets and stuff like that. And now the best timing ever is, I think my mouse died. So that is something to take care. So we will look at that. If the mouse dies again, then I will have to connect the cable. But anyways, let's come to the big one, to the big point for after that. Here we go. So let's look a little bit at this one. This is very important in my opinion because the new... So now I think it really died. Give me a second, guys, to fix the mouse. Fixed it. There we go. Jordan is here. Yo, what is going on? Let's get that bullish vibes going. Yeah. We are getting there. For mouse batteries. Thank you for the $2 donation for mouse batteries. Although maybe I need another mouse because also that one doesn't have the mouse wheel anymore functioning. But anyways, let's look at this one quickly. Opinion article: the new crypto bill Gary Gensler doesn't want you to know about. And that was super interesting because the content of this one is really big. US law doesn't let appointed regulators override elected official. But the SEC may be doing exactly that. So let's look at where he is again overstepping boundaries. Here we can see when Gary Gensler's Security and Exchange Commission this week filed security charges against America's biggest cryptocurrency exchange, they were premised on a single core idea that US law already includes the necessary tools to regulate cryptocurrency assets and marketplaces. Gensler has been appointed by Biden administration and consistently repeated that crypto doesn't need new rules. That is very important here because we have always seen that he's basically saying, okay, we're just going to take the Howey test, we are going to take the underlying precedences of 1600 and I don't know what, no, of 1932 or something like that, where the Howey test is based on, and that everything, cryptocurrency, exchanges, assets, everything with ICOs, every altcoin can be ruled just with these base laws. That is what he was always claiming and saying. But now it looks like there is something that could prevent him in this endeavor, because legislators from both the House and the Senate, and belonging to both political parties, so not a politicum there, seem to disagree. A series of recent bills showed the legislative branch actively engaged in lawmaking around crypto. They clearly don't agree that the status quo is good enough. According to the legal theory based on law known as Administrative Procedures Act, the existence of this process could undermine the SEC's current round of enforcement actions, particularly the case against Coinbase, which would be very good if at least one of those can come through on this one. But here it gets more interesting even. So just days before the SEC actions, just days before, the House of Financial Services Chair Patrick McHenry, Agricultural Committee Chair Glenn Thompson released a collaborative draft bill called the Digital Asset Market Structure and Investor Protection Act. We can look at this later because I found a little bit of an interesting one there as well. So the bill has some truly excellent provisions, including a safe harbor for non-security cryptos under 75 million market cap, so very small ones, and for limited sales to non-accredited investors. And it also aims to clarify the registration procedures for crypto exchanges, and even includes a plan for progressive decentralization. And there I found a desecuritization that would allow assets to transition from security and commodity status over time. And honestly, I'm not a lawmaker, but I still decided to take a look into this bill. So there it is. So it's a super long one, apparently. And we are not going to read any of that, which is why I took a screenshot there. Just let me pull that up quickly. So basically, one second. So basically, as you can see here, as you can see if I zoom in, and as you can see if I get rid of my face here a little bit more, how can I put this there? So it's a little bit fuzzy because the screenshot isn't too good. But basically what it does say here, desecuritization of digital asset securities. So even if a digital asset is labeled a security, even if that would one day be proven with such an act, if it would then pass, desecuritization of digital asset securities would be possible. So registration of any asset class of digital asset security, that would be basically possible to over time become a commodity. So, and that's why I say, and that's why I made the thumbnail of this live stream today into is there hope? Because yes, there is hope. First of all, there is legislation going on, which means that Gary Gensler is wrong. Secondly, in that legislation that is going on for regulating the crypto space in a new way, there is something going on that is the desecuritization certification, and that shall demonstrate that the issuer's service goods or platforms are fully operational and that the digital asset does not provide holders of such digital assets with any of the rights specified in subclauses 1 through 4 of section and I tried to find that section, but I couldn't. But I bet that these are some of the things that on the Howey test, for example, that the digital asset cannot give you the right to decide, for example, like a stockholder into the strategic endeavor, for example. But it would be possible then to have utility tokens if it only gives you the right to basically generate your gas and mint into the blockchain and so on. And if that would be the case here with the legislation, it also would give projects like Ecomi and Veve regulatory clarity what you can and cannot do with the Ecomi token, for example. And they would be able to desecuritize here. So a digital asset security securitized shall be considered to be and regulated as a commodity, under the Commodity Exchange Act. So there, as you can clearly see here, even though that we are all not familiar with this law stuff, especially as a German, not from the US, I found it interesting that there is basically a way from security to commodity if you are complying with certain things in your projects, which makes me a little bit more bullish on the entire altcoin case, because there is still a way to turn things around. Motili says, good morning, Motili, how are you doing? That basically is one of the things that I wanted to show you. Then we also, before we look a little bit into charts and stuff like that, we have to talk about Bitcoin dominance, because we have discussed this on the table since the beginning, since the dawn of live streaming here, that there is this one point in the cycle where Bitcoin dominance just rises and everything else bleeds. You said you changed your lifetimes, bad for UK, 6 in the morning. I did not. I did not change my lifetimes, I think. I have been streaming 8:30, 4 p.m. in Australia. That is crazy, man. I hope you are up early, or are you still up? Mr. Plan Profit, I don't know exactly what you mean, but on Saturday I streamed later, but wasn't out of the normal. But my streams right now are at around the same time as they have been before. So unfortunately, that is one is always up late or up early to catch the stream. Unfortunately, I want to get it done before work. I have to leave to work in like 30 minutes and stuff like that. But anyway, we have been talking about this, that Bitcoin dominance is going to rise, and it's now near 50% because of the altcoin crash. Sorry about that one. The altcoin crash. So that is interesting. Some of the altcoins, as you have seen, have basically suffered a lot. We have also looked at this in a second. We are going to look at the altcoin market cap there to see what we can see. Bitcoin just lost 3%, which makes sense because Bitcoin is not the target. But Bitcoin also will suffer if Binance and Coinbase go out of business or are closing down all their operation, because they're not going to stay in the US just to sell Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin will lose if they lose their lawsuits. Bitcoin's relative dominance mooning amid altcoin market sell-off. So there is a channel here in the Bitcoin dominance that we see right now where it could have a breakout. And if it has the breakout, then there will be a rally. And for me, this is once I see Bitcoin dominance to really go rally in front or front running this this new halving that is going on, I will go harder into altcoins then. Right now is a good point, in my opinion. But I'm still waiting to see how things are playing out, if there's more coming from the SEC, although I maybe did not go into the falling knife here. But as you can see, the entire altcoin market cap there, and yeah, we have been quite violently backtesting, and the overall market cap of the altcoins, so this is total altcoin market cap, minus ETH, minus Bitcoin, so the rest of the crypto space. So we are still falling, yeah, we are still falling, and I don't know if it's over yet, but yeah, as we can see here, there's a good chance to go and backtest here to these levels. Who knows? It all depends on the fundamentals. It depends on the FOMC meeting and so on. So that is very interesting in my opinion. Let's take a quick look at our Bitcoin performance as well. Don't get confused by all these lines. These are in to monitor what we have been discussing since a month. We have been talking about this flag here. If you get this out of the way, you can see it clearer. We are still in this flag, as you can see here, but we have broken this trend line, and that is interesting. And if you want to ignore the flag, so this trend line here that is going on since our return, supposed return into the bull run, right? So look, we had this trend line here, a lot of confluence, and now it's broken. And if you want, you could take this here as a bearish retest. You're falling through, bearish retest, but we are still in this flag. So if we could be able to come out bullishly on this flag, that would be great. This trend line probably is gone. We will leave it up a little bit more in case that Bitcoin just pumps in again and this is just a fake out. But other than that, what could be happening as well is that this is more like a Bart Simpson, right? And that we come down and do a head and shoulders or something like that. This is also possible. So be aware. This is not a good one for really making assumptions right now where this is going because of the uncertainty. And by the way, yesterday I saw some tweets about TA, that TA is complete bullshit and so on, and I agree to an extent. However, if you see bigger time frame patterns, the problem is that hundreds of thousands of people are looking at the same pattern and drawing the same conclusion, so it somehow becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, which is why I think it is necessary to look at it, because if the leverage traders are basically making assumptions based on what they are seeing in the charts, then it becomes somewhat of a truth, right? So that's why we are looking at fundamentals, and then after a while we are looking at some charts and some TA, because I think that with this in mind, it can give us a clue before stuff really happens, because of how other people interpret it. So still our mega cup and handle pattern is still in place. Our cup may be a little bit bigger. Then so the more we are trickling down here, the longer it will take us to come back up for closing this handle. And if we were falling through, then probably it's not this pattern anymore. Yeah, good question here. We have a question there, and that is from Oli the Dad Midget. Okay, a weird name though. So let me just pull up Ecomi while we're talking about it. So is Ecomi with the burns a security? That is basically the question, and I think it's not the burns that are the biggest problem, because right now for Ecomi there's another problem. And that is that it needs to do something first to be even considered to be regulated. So look at this. We have been talking about this, right? Bear flag. it's all coming true. So far to the bearish pattern. I have said before that I will be waiting here on taking actions for. I will be waiting for Bitcoin to rally. I will be waiting for this SEC stuff to play out. But to answer your question, basically, OMI, if Gary Gensler wins, this is important. If Gary Gensler wins, OMI is already a security because they had a token ICO. They had an investor round. So that would already make Ecomi a security. But I think then also every altcoin is a security, as Gary Gensler said many times before. I would put a big question mark behind that, because I don't think that it is wise for the US to regulate the altcoin market to an extent where this whole thing dies in the US, and you cannot innovate and emit in the US based on these things. So yeah. They didn't have the ICO in the, that is right, what Jordan says. They didn't have the ICO in the US. They did have the ICO, if I'm not mistaken, either in New Zealand or in Singapore, because Orbis is listed in Singapore. So, yeah, but the problem is you still can't sell them, even if it's an ICO from outside and it's an unregistered security. You still can sell them in the US, right? So it's not that they would get slapped with a fine for launching it in the US, but I think if Ecomi just wouldn't be able to be listed on US exchanges, right? Yeah, it's a Singapore company, yeah. So even if this is the other thing, it's not a worldwide phenomenon. It's a US problem. And the US will be not doing themselves a favor if they shut down the entire altcoin project operations, and everyone is going to where? To Singapore, Hong Kong, Europe, because Europe has crypto regulations already brought in place. So there's basically, it's not that what Gensler decides is then valid for the rest of the world. So altcoins are not going away. It's just the US have to decide if they want to participate in it, and we would gladly have them participating in that, because there's a ton of money sitting in the US, right? But other than that, yeah, so I expect this to break to the downside, honestly. So more red for OMI before we turn around, in my opinion. And then Jordan can buy more OMI. Okay. So we have looked at Bitcoin. Let's take a quick one at the DXY. Are we still on track for bullishness? And it looks like we are somewhat. So still we are with the lower high here. It looks very much like a lower high, although we have now a smaller pump. That's not even correct, right? Let me refresh this. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So it's not very different, but it's still a little bit red. So I hope we are collapsing here at one point so that we can pump in the crypto market. Yeah, so let's get to some NFT news, because there's also something interesting going in the NFT space, and that is Louis Vuitton is dropping a 39,000 euro, $42,000 high-end treasure trunk NFT collection. So, in deviation from its past gamified approach to NFTs, Louis Vuitton will now focus on high-end use for technology. As a result, producing a limited number of digital fashion accessories featuring its treasure trunk range that debuted 160 years ago. So that is a history-loaded NFT. 39K price tag, however, will receive a made-to-order physical twin of the trunk, as well as a range of future benefits. So we already see right now, with everything that we have seen, VeChain has already done it, Fidgetals for the Italian Open. Louis Vuitton is doing Fidgetals right now. Veve has been doing Fidgetals already in the beginning of the year at DesignerCon. So I think that a lot of these NFT projects are now understanding that Fidgetal is the way to go for now, because it's really bridging the two realms of digital and physical, and people can, even if people are not yet so much in the NFT space, they can really relate to NFTs like this treasure trunk, where they also get a physical one. So that is interesting, and it's a very new sales approach for the NFT space. And I believe that Veve will be going harder in the phygital side as well, which will be good for them, good for the project, good for the overall marketing. So to get in on the action, fans of the brand based in participating regions US, UK, Canada, France, Japan and Germany can register their interest on the official website on June 8th. So also the US, they have to be careful that Gary Gensler doesn't shut down their treasure trunk. But anyways, so it's limited, because you remember some people crying on Veve as well about limited drops to specific regions, but this one is also limited because of probably of shipment. So this is coming out. This is too expensive for me, I will be honest, and I don't know what's in there. Once in possession of an NFT, Louis Vuitton will impose a soul-bound status on the treasure trunk NFTs, essentially preventing holders from gifting or trading them via secondary market. And that's why in the world would you do that? This will allow the company to retain a degree of control over the collection and further assist its community with a level of aftercare service unavailable to the decentralized model. So they're basically taking a similar approach to Veve, just that we can trade our stuff on our personal secondary market. But I don't understand why you would do that, because obviously you want to have your NFT be worth something, and the value can only be measured when you have a secondary market. I cannot understand that a single bit, right? So that said, however, owning a part of the collection, excuse me guys, a little bit, of the collection will enable holders to purchase keys that will unlock further products down the line. These keys and their associated benefits will then be fully tradable on secondary market. So as Louis Vuitton looks to restructure its NFT game, it will open a new elite doorway. So keys and associated benefits will be fully tradable on secondary market. So there we have it. They basically want that the original holder stays the original holder. Maybe they are afraid of the NFT in itself being a security, and therefore you cannot trade it. Hey Energy, what's going on? Good to see you here. Good to have you here on the channel. We are just going over some NFT stuff. Then let's look what Veve has in store for us. Not too much, honestly, since our last live stream. The Gauntlet airdrop stuff is snapshotted 2 days ago, so you can't get the airdrop anymore by crafting the Gauntlet. That is good. I'm looking forward to getting my Thanos. Then we have the Marvel artworks here, the one-of-one variant. Maybe hopefully one day I can participate in one of these and get one of the one-of-ones. I really want to get one of these. Then also we get the next comic here for Veve. Let's look at this one quickly. Miles Morales. So I bet people are just going for that because there is this Miles Morales Spider-Man on the front. I have no idea yet if this is worth anything in the real world. I think the rare is weird. The ultra rare is weird as well. It looks like someone photoshopping something into a drawn cover. Not too much a fan. The secret rare is cool. It's 10,000 edition, so I probably won't go for it because even those don't sell out usually. Do you have final numbers on the crafted gauntlet? We can quickly look at it. I will just see if I can pull it up here. If we find something. Let me see if OMI Daily Burn has it. Yeah, I think we have final numbers. Let's look at this. Maybe we can learn something from this. Infinity Gauntlet update by ODB, OMI Daily Burn. Collectibles, by the way, make sure to follow him on Twitter. Burn for crafting, and also he has a YouTube channel if you're interested in these stats. Burn for crafting as of the 10th, which is the airdrop one. 11,476 soulstones crafted by burning the souls collectibles, so that's a ton, almost 12,000 collectibles gone. 2,999 animated infinity gauntlets crafted, so right, just one under 3,000 animated infinity gauntlets. Unfortunately, that means that probably also the airdrop is getting sold very low for in the beginning. 981 secret rare Eye of Agamottos have been burned, that is your final number there for the warrior Thanos. And then 801 ethers remaining, 1,129 secret rare Eye of Agamotto remaining. So that one will drop in price very harshly probably, because that's a ton. I don't know why this was so high in price and no one floored this if so many are remaining. So I hope the SRI of Agamotto will drop in price again, because I need to buy it back to complete that set again. I think it will, because look at this. I think the secret rare Eye of Agamotto that is going back to sub 200 gems one day. Before we will really go into the bull run, because with 1,200 almost left over, and with no further utility so far at least, that Eye of Agamotto is not as scarce. The scarcest one is apparently the ether. So yeah, 801, and then the next one in scarcity is this warrior Thanos. So that is cool. I'm really excited about them doing this. I hope they just come around with the next one where you have to burn again from the existing stuff. I hope they will just do one event after the next one. Also, what I would like to see is that the burning is not one for one, so that you basically burn, I mean, it wasn't here as well, but with the soulstone it was burn one collectible, generate one soulstone. What I would like to see is generate one item out of 20. Where you really have to, like ingredients, where you really have to put a lot. So let's say you could craft a potion out of certain different things and then use this potion like they did it on the Disney posters, right? And for the potion, you would need a lot of stuff so that it really starts to generate scarcity on the market for things that weren't even scarce. So this is a test run, obviously, with the Gauntlet, but I really hope they do this more and more, so that there are several crafting events going on at the same time where people can choose. That would be really great. Quick look at the market. Anything new? Purchases slightly down, but still massive buying here in the whale wallets. Let me see if we have more. Yeah, we have number 7 now. So a while ago we didn't even have we only had 5 in the 10,000s or it was 4 even, and now we have 7 wallets on 10K or more, and we also have 2 of them that are very, very close to enter. So we might actually see very soon of the Veve whales, the top 10 having more than 10,000. I think it will not take so long for that to happen, and I will be reaching my 500 soon. So yeah, we see that some of these are really, really going hard. So we might actually find ourselves with a lot of 10,000 and maybe Dr. Profit in some time, either being flipped or reaching 20,000. But so far he managed to stay ahead. Guys, how many collectibles do you have? What do you have? I think who is by it. So here we had seen that these purchases were in the thousands. Little bit less buying right now, all over the place. So here in the lower ones, in the lower brackets, the buying is not as extensive, but still going on. People are still stacking, still accumulation still going on. I mean, if you consider 70 collectibles in 7 days is not so little, right? So yeah, there is a lot of stuff going on. What else? Let me take a quick look here if we covered everything. What's your MCP level? Let me check, because this could have changed, right? I have some. What really drives my MCP points probably is my rare, ultra rare, and secret rare comics. I am level 39, and I have 17,000 points left to the next level, accumulating roughly 500 points per day. So that is, can I show that? Probably. Let me see. There you go. Now you can see it. So I have 355 comics, 132 collectibles. So that is 487 and 22 full sets. And yeah, so I'm apparently Diamond 1. I don't care too much. It will ramp up a little bit more. I have concluded, or I have completed that stamp set there. I will have to look if I will be able to manage to buy the whole New Zealand stamp set as well, because some of these are really only 2 gems. Let me see what the secret rares though. That did sell out, right? Is there a secret rare, by the way? Yeah. So there won't be an airdrop, right? So the secret rare is 559, a little bit too expensive for me right now to get that. The ultra rare goes for 14. Yeah, so it's more expensive than the president's set. Smashing you. You're level 32, but you are diamond 2. Okay, so that means that you have less points accumulated, but you're accumulating faster, right? If you're diamond 2, why you? So I'm diamond 1 with 482.3 points per day, daily rolling. So the question is, do you accumulate more? Energy says working on level 80. Yeah, energy is our German community whale. Yeah, energy has crazy collection. Energy, how many sets do you have? I think energy, you have over 200 sets, right? Yeah, energy is just going crazy. Really, really crazy. But I also want to have some or to get some more things. But I think even right now it's still the best strategy to accumulate rare comics that you don't have yet in terms of dollar to MCP. let me share my screen with you once more, because this is how I do my analysis. Let me get my face out of the thing here. By the way, where's the chat? Oh, chat must be broken. Oh, there you go. So yeah, 222 sets. Oh my god. So he literally has a clean a clean 200 sets more than me. Okay, so this is how it works. So for what you can do, for example, is you can go on vvsetlist.com and you can then search by either price or how it scarcity, MCP points per set, and so on. So we are right now in the sets section. What you can do is you can, for example, say what's the lowest dollar that you need, and obviously that these two here are a little bit broken. But for example, here you can see if you want if you don't have the soul stone, you will spend $2.75 per MCP point, and then you get the soul stone. So it's another full set if you don't have that, because it's a one set item, and so on. So here you see to get the women support war effort stamp, it's $6. So you already pay $3 per MCP point, right? So if we go to comics, for example, you see that if you sort this by dollar per MCP, you have actually $3. You have $3 per MCP point if you stack rares, right? So yeah, and then there are already 2 ultra rares in the mix that for $3.30 you can get as well. So each of buying one of these could be the way to go, right? If you are only interested in MCP points. So that's how you can do it. You can do the analysis here. But if you see this right now, actually it's cheaper to at least if you don't have the soulstone, that is cheaper because it's only $2.75 per MCP point. And then also the women's war effort right now is in the same category than with the comics. But you see, already with the designer con mascot and all the other stuff, you are paying way more for MCP points here than you would for stacking rare comics. So if you want a cheap way to stack that, then you have to probably go with the rares here. Actually, I've not added all scarcities, but we'll probably see that if we add now we added uncommon and common, so you can filter here, and you see there are no commons or uncommons in this list whatsoever. And what's also cool is, as you can see here, you see on Veve Setlist which total number is available and if there have been burns involved. So, for example, here there have been burns involved to have the scarcity lower, and you can sort by scarcity of the additions. So as you can see here, if I do that, we see that the scarcest one is this amazing Spider-Man 252 rare and secret rare and ultra rares, but there are also 125 secret rares, and you can see then what you have to pay for all of these. By the way, is that true that the Tales of Suspense 45 is only $27? Oh no, that's dollar per MCP, sorry, that's 167. So currently there's no secret rare with in the 125ers below $100. The cheapest one is Fantastic Four Annual 6. But yeah, that's how you can look at it. Tarzan is right below it, but has 138. So that's when you're looking for scarcity. Mark D says, is that every collectible on the app? Wonder what the maximum set amount is. Yeah, so on this site you get every collectible on the app, but I don't know what the entire what the maximum is, but probably it's possible to have 300 sets. Merlin says, what is being done to fight the SEC? What is being done to fight the SEC is, I think Coinbase has filed a lawsuit against the SEC, which is also probably, they were poking around with this. I think there will be a lot of lawsuits against the SEC. There will be the Ripple outcome of the Ripple lawsuit, and we will probably tomorrow, the Hinman documents are going to be unsealed. That could be something to fight the SEC as well. So yeah, that is it. But guys, in terms of stacking and MCP points, you see this is one thing how you can see the strategy. Let's quickly look at collectibles also. So these don't count because they are broken in the metadata somehow. Here actually we see Earth Day stamp is only 191 per MCP point. And then there are, actually this is cheaper right now than Rare Comics, by the way, guys. So all of these, some of the New Zealand common stamps and Holiday Elves and so on, all of these collectibles are cheaper in MCP per MCP than Rare Comics at the moment. So the Luna stamp, the Holiday Elves, the New Zealand common, the presidential uncommons, the Earth Day rare, and yeah, so everything up to $3 per MCP point, so up to the presidential series common. Everything of these is actually cheaper dollar per MCP point than rares. Keep that in mind if you don't have them yet. SmartyPants says, closing in on MCP level 79 myself. So we have some really big, we have some whales here in chat, like Energy, SmartyPants. They are stacking us. So I probably buy these stamps then, these super low stamp ones, if that's a cheap way to get more MCP points. And you never know. I mean, they can still double, triple, 10x the price in a bull run. So I'm also not sad about that one. Maybe I'll just get myself into place to complete more of these stamp sets. Actually, I like the stamp sets, and the mariachi one, for example, is also still uncommon, pretty cheap, and there have been some burns in the mariachi. I really want to know how they have a burn on the Year of the Tiger. How did that happen? Weird. Didn't they sell out? I don't know. But anyways, guys, I have to jump. Thank you all for participating. Smash the like. By the way, I've not asked one time. Smash the like button. So please, guys, everyone that is here, smash the like button. Thanks for the like. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. And wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. And see you in the next live stream. Thank you so much for being here. And until tomorrow in the